Good evening. Rialto Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education agenda, August the 23rd, 2023, at Dr. John R. Casaluna Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Board member, President Stephanie Lewis, President, Mr. Joseph Martinez, Clerk, Mrs. Evelyn Dominguez, member, Mr. Edgar Montes, member, Superintendent Dr. Avila. Any individual who require disability-related accommodation or modification, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting should contact the superintendent or designee in writing. Call to order at 6 p.m. Open session. To go into closed session, I will be reading out, as provided by law, the following are the items for discussion and consideration at the closed session of the board meeting: public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employee, Government Code Section 54957, student expulsion, reinstatement, expulsion, enrollment, conference with labor negotiator, agency designated representative, Dr. Avila, superintendent, lead personnel agent, Mrs. Kramer, Ms. Dominguez, and Mr. Ortega, Personnel Services. Employee Organization, California School Employee Association, Chapter 203, CSEA, Rialto Education Association, REA, Communication Workers of America, CWA. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D, and or D3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation 1. Review liability claim number 2223-21, conference with labor negotiator, Government Code Section 54957.6. Designated representative, Board President Stephanie Lewis, and Dr. Underrepresented Employee, Dr. Avila. Closed session, comments on closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any items on the closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We don't have any.
Do we have a motion for closed session?
Second.
Thank you. And vote by member, Ms. Dominguez,
Aye.
Mr. Montes,
Aye.
Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis. Aye. We're going into closed session at 6:03. All right, good evening, good evening. Open session reconvene at 7:04.
I make a motion to adjourn closed session.
Second.
Okay, vote by board member, Ms. Dominguez,
Aye.
Mr. Montez,
Aye.
Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, President, 7:05. Okay. So open session reconvened. Right, we're gonna ask Ms. Kane Galazzo to join us and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Dr. Avila, do we have report out of closed session?
Yes, we do. The Board of Education denied the request for an unpaid leave of absence for classified employee number 2879433 from August 24th, 2023 through December 8th, 2023. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Kira Kingdom, Virtual Academy Assistant Principal, Zupanic Virtual Academy. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of George Bennett, Middle School Assistant Principal, Frisbee Middle School. The roll call vote was unanimous. That's all we have.
Thank you. Next, we have the motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Okay. Any questions or polls or item? We have none. Are you ready?
I do have one. For E 3.9.
Did you want to pull or
I just have
question?
some questions on it.
So we'll,
Okay,
So
when
I'll
we,
proceed
we'll
with
vote
the
on it
vote.
separately.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll proceed with the vote. but I
So
have
just for the
questions.
record, what's the number?
It's E 3.9.
Any other items?
So I'll restate my motion to approve the agenda as is.
Okay, is there a second? All righty, Ms. Dominguez,
Aye.
Mr. Montez,
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye. Exciting time, exciting time. This is the time we're going to administer the oath of office to our new student board member, Ms. King Galazzo. Will you meet me at the podium? Tonight, the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education and Superintendent Dr. Avila welcome our newest board member for the school year. Kane Galazzo is 16-year-old, and she's the board representative is a senior at Wilhelmina Carter High School. She will turn 17 on October the 30th. Kane was selected during an election process at her school site, which was also led to be interview process. It was very competitive, and she was humbled to be selected the lead. We're pleased to have Kane's parents with her, Mr. and Mrs. Edgar Kate Gonzalo, along with her 5-year-old baby brother, Ethan, who currently attend Dunn Elementary School. Thank you also, Dr. McMillian, for being here tonight and supporting one of your own. Just want to share a little information. So Kane was born in the Philippines, and shortly after her family moved to Southern California, she attended numerous elementary schools in LA. Then she landed on the beautiful city of Rialto, where she relocated and went to Casero Middle School. During that time of relocation, she was able to embed herself and be active and meet many new friends. New country, new school, new location, series of students. She said, I love my school. It was very hard at first because it was during COVID. But once COVID passed, she was able to interact with her friends, and she's also very, very active in student responsibility. She plans to really take part in a board meeting. Additionally, she'll be the student leader on a district student advisory council, and stated that she's going to try to attend all the events that her academics will let her. Yes. When Kane graduated from Carter, I'm so proud. We have another registered nurse here, nurse practitioner. I'm sure she's going to go all the way and get her DNP. We're going to shoot for her. And so on her spare time, Kane enjoyed reading, listening to music. Her musical taste varies from Lady Gaga to Stevie Nicks, and she likes to dress, and she just have a cool vibe. On behalf of the Board of Education, our superintendent, we are honored. We are excited to have you join us, and we're excited to hear the voice of the students which you represent. So now I want you to raise your right hand, and I would like your parents and little brothers, to family members to stand around you while we take the oath. Isn't this beautiful? Do you, Kane Gonzalo, solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution? I think our board members should join because this is very, very critical. We've all felt this when you're first sworn in. All right, Mom, come closer. Do you, Kane Gonzalo, solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and the State of California? That you would take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose or evasion?
I do.
And that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties about which you're about to enter?
I do.
With this oath, you are now seated officially as a student board member of Rialto Unified School District Board of Education. At this time, Dr. Avila would like to present.
This is on behalf of the Board of Education and the superintendent. So welcome here for you.
And you now may take your seat after the pictures, or, oh, you're going to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Again, I'm Kane Galazzo, and I'm from Carter High School. I would like to thank everyone who's here, especially my mom and my little brother. I'm very excited for my experience. I'm very excited for this new experience, and I'm really looking forward of hearing other people's perspectives. And just thank you to the board and everyone. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome on board.
We're just missing Miss O'Kelly.
That felt good. It's nothing like the student, because that's why we're here to serve. Next, we would like to have a community and strategic partnership presented by none other than Mr. Joseph William, Community Agent, Strategic Partnership. Ooh, that's a lot of S's for a Southerner.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Need some water on that one.
Good evening, Board President Lewis, members of the board. Congratulations to our new student board member. Looking at your brother's face, he looks so proud of you. I had the chance to serve as a student board member at my college, and it's a privilege to be able to serve in that role. I hope you really get the value out of it. Explain it to him. Tell him what it means and what you're working on. Superintendent Avila, members of the innovation team and viewing audience. My name is Joseph Williams, and I have the honor to serve as our community agent and strategic partnerships. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the work that me and my colleagues have been a part of. But before I do that, I just want to, well, the first thing I want to do is give a definition, because I'm going to mention some terms that may be new for some, and we're learning. So I just want to read this definition, because you're going to hear me use the word synergy, and okay. We believe that the word partnership denotes a parting of something. A synership is a combined or collective effort of schools, families, and communities working together for the success of our students. Rialto Unified School District recognizes that families, educators, and others in the community share a responsibility for students' learning and development. The term synership includes a concept that includes involvement, engagement, participation, collaboration, and other favorite terms that show that people at home, at school, and in the community work together to improve schools and increase success for all students. And so when you're hearing me talk about synergy, and when you don't hear me say partnerships and you hear me talking about synergistic relationships, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the community and organizations coming together to improve schools. So I'm gonna go into the presentation. I'm going to talk about some of the work that we're doing with community-based organizations, educational institutions, business and industry, some of the work-based learning opportunities that are available within the district, some of the work that we're doing with federal, state, and local officials and philanthropic organizations, and then I'll conclude with talking about emerging initiatives. I want to recognize, one of my educational partners, Miss Ruth Gonzalez, who's here with me. She has her hand in pretty much everything that I'm involved in the district, and just want to give appreciation. So all of the partnerships and everything that you see, she's played a role in helping the district roll these things out. And so when you look at my role, our superintendent has positioned my role to look at things from a 30,000 square foot level, or 30,000 foot level, looking at district-wide initiatives and how we can bring the community in to have an impact on our entire district. And so when you hear me talking about the things that have been worked on, this is district-wide partnerships. And so it doesn't take away from anything that we do at the individual level at the site. And so let me go into this. So just more about the service area that I have. Again, it's district-wide support and programs, community relations that empower or engage our students. Additionally, we create collaborative relationships between schools and education partners, and that's a state definition. When you hear me talk about education partners, I could be talking about a business industry partner, I could be talking about a community-based organization, a faith-based organization, other entities that are dedicated to providing educational support services. We look at providing support for our students and our families that are culturally appropriate. And then the way that we look at partnerships, they should be reciprocal, meaning that they're win-win. They can include in-kind donations, fee-for-service, cash contributions, and then also volunteer support. These are the parameters, the goals, and the overarching strategies that the service area that I'm leading. So the parameters are we address inequities within the school system. We're working to get us to see college as a pathway, not a destination. So really making sure that college is not the endpoint for our students, is that it's a means to something that they want to achieve, not we just want to get them into college. Collaborate within a high school feeder pattern or feeder cluster. Work with the community to enhance school capacity, support services, academic supports, and access to post-secondary education and career programs. Our goal is to provide transferable college credit while students are in high school, connect schools with partners for work-based learning experiences, and I'll talk in more detail about what that looks like. And then I'm also involved in evaluating our strategic centerships for their effectiveness. Our strategies are to empower schools to do what's in the best interest of our students, challenge barriers that cause or barriers to students' success, and then also aspire a shared mission through effective centerships. So some of the community-based organizations that we've had the opportunity to work with is the Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino County, CAP. CAP is part of the federal poverty fighting arm, and they contributed $80,000 to our district for us to focus on issues related to student health, to help students have dignity and education. And what we were able to do with the $80,000 were purchase 126 laptops for our McKinney-Vento students. And these are laptops that they get to keep because they are sometimes moving around. And so having access to that equipment is critical for their educational experience. We're able to provide new clothes, hygiene equipment, and 100 prom dresses were distributed as a result of this partnership with the Community Action Partnership. Because we had the prom dresses, Assemblymember James Ramos stepped up and donated $10,000 so that we can provide tuxedos for students that were also going to the prom. And so we're super appreciative for those partnerships. And so I want to acknowledge Crystal Rojas, Brenda Salas, Nicole Alabiso, Adam Wagner, Diane Romo, Jennifer Carroll, Camille Jackson, Michael Arrington, Lauren Erickson, Michael Ricker, and the whole warehouse team, Saidi Jaffries, Bridget Ely, may she rest in peace, Zamora Hernandez, Enrique, and then also the CEO of the CAT, Community Action Partnership, Miss Nutritious Butler, Nichols Butler. So you'll hear me acknowledge some names because it's really important for you to see that we have internal partnerships and there are teams of people that are working on the projects that the community team is a part of. Educational institutions. Teach Rialto CTE is a program that is at our high schools that is designed to help high school students earn their bachelor's degree and eventually get a single subject or multi-subject credential. This is our part of growing our own and addressing the teaching shortage. And so we were able to secure a MOU, a memorandum of understanding with Cal State San Bernardino, so that those students can transition into Cal State and, like I said, earn their credential. And we're super proud that 6 students have been accepted into Cal State San Bernardino into the bachelor's program. And we're hoping that they'll, yes, thank you. We're hoping that they'll move on and decide to get a credential and then hopefully come back and work for Rialto Unified School District. I'll talk more in detail about what we're doing with Teach Rialto. We've also, again, when I'm talking about the work that I'm involved in, these are district-wide tours. So the college tours with the community colleges, this is something that all of the high schools do. They still all have their individual site tours and they all go to different colleges, but this is a simultaneous experience where all of the high schools are going together. It's a work in progress. We're bringing the sites together so that they can do district-wide activities. We're addressing college affordability. Sometimes the college application fee stops a student from applying to college. The district contributed $40,000 to help students with their fees and get their applications through, and we were able to help over 100 students with getting their applications completed. And this is an ongoing effort that the district is engaged in order to increase our college-going culture. And the folks that have been involved with that is our fiscal services folks, Nicole Alabiso, Ruth Gonzalez. Our career techs are amazing. Miss Nancy Ibrahim, Ashante Zamora, Dr. Ed D'Souza, Juanita Chan, Karen Good. And, you know, we can't do any of this kind of stuff without our transportation services. They help us move students around the county. It's not an easy feat, and so they help us with all of the scheduling and making sure that we get to and from safely. And so we're appreciative of the work that they do. Public and private centerships. So we have a career speaker series that's designed to engage our CTE students and really helping them with making career choices. So they're getting their classroom learning, but then what we do is bring in industry experts to talk to them about what work is really like and get them an up-close view to find out what is the world of work all about. So we've had and this is a simultaneous, again, experience where all of the CTE students, so there'll be about 300 students in one session. They generally happen with first and second period at the high schools, all at the same time. They're experiencing this together, separate sites. And so the San Bernardino County Workforce Development Department has come out and participated. And then we've also worked closely with San Bernardino County Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. and hosted 3 college and career fairs where students got a chance to connect with a range of different employers. Bank of America has come out to talk about smart money matters. Rialto PD has talked about opportunities in public safety. Cal SOAP has presented on financial aid and how to access resources to go to college. And Youth Action Project is presented on Bring Your A Game and helping young people just understand basic goal setting and what Adulting 101 is what we call it is all about. Continuing our our partnerships, this is Groundhog Day, which happens February the 2nd every year. Students all across the country participate in this Job Shadow Day. This was a partnership with Blue Educational Foundation, and they had the opportunity to visit nutrition services, child welfare and attendance, technology services, and purchasing. And this is all about learning about jobs and what careers are available. Amazon, we're partnering with Amazon Boot Up. This is a unique partnership. Generally, people are talking about logistics when you hear training with Amazon, but Amazon has provided professional development for our elementary school teachers. 30 of them have completed 12 hours of professional development, and they're basically learning to integrate computer science into their classroom lessons, and they're doing basic block coding. And Kaiser has provided us with close to $50,000 to help us pilot paid work-based learning opportunities. So this year, up to 20 students that are in our Teach Rialto CTE program will have the opportunity to earn $2,000 scholarships, but they got to complete these things: 70 hours of work-based learning, 30 hours of community service, and then they have to complete 3 certificates. We use some of the funds to do early childhood education with our parents, and so we're super appreciative of Kaiser and the contributions that they've made to our district. Teach Rialto, Dr. D'Souza and Mr. Vin Chime from San Bernardino Valley Colleges is here. This is an effort led by Dr. D'Souza, where students are getting college classes while they're in high school. Yes. They're getting college classes at our high schools where the professors are coming to our school and providing access to these courses. And when I say these are college courses, these are your general education courses. Students could not, if you graduated from high school, you would not be able to get these courses just right off the street because their priority level is so low when they graduate. And so Dr. D'Souza did an excellent job with negotiating general education courses, and we estimated that it saves families close to $6,000 because the courses are free. The books are also free, and these courses are all college transferable courses that will contribute to them earning an associate's degree. So when they graduate, they'll have about 42 units and would be considered a junior when they go into college. So that saves them 2 years of college. And if they want to continue to get their bachelor's degree, just think about how much money that saves them. So Great job, Dr. D'Souza. Thank you for being here representing the college, and we're just looking forward to this program continue to grow. It went from 4 students to 121 students, and we're going to look to continue to expand this relationship with Valley College. Thank you. And so, and I'm running short on time. And so, emerging initiatives. We are beginning to engage with our legislators so that we can have a better understanding of what the federal appropriations process is like, what the state processes are like. So we had an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C., to honor one of the schools that were being recognized. But the thing that it helped us understand was how funding gets allocated to districts, and we got a chance to build relationships with the Department of Education, and our plan is to seek funding and bring additional resources to our district. And so we're learning about those processes. We have some meetings scheduled with Assemblymember Reyes, Congressman Aguilar in the next couple of weeks with Dr. Avila and Dr. Gibbs. We're excited about being able to talk to them about our parent literacy program. We're investing in that program that we have with USC. And you may ask, why aren't we investing in parents? If you don't have the home settled, and if you don't have education happening at home, you know, it causes a lot of different challenges. And so as a parent, I'm a parent in the district. I got 2 kids in the districts, and, you know, we have a classroom set up at home. And so the parent literacy program is really increasing the idea of literacy in the home, so that way when they come into the classroom, it's not a foreign subject for people. And so it's really important that we continue to invest in this. We need teachers to support this idea, and, you know, and to help us think through how we really look at it. Teach Rialto is a large initiative that in November, we're going to bring back a partnership that we're excited to announce that we can't say what it is yet, but we're excited to bring back this new partner who's going to be investing in this program. And so this program provides an opportunity for us, again, to grow our own teachers and to employ them in the district and help them, you know, just bring quality people into the classroom. We're learning about apprenticeships. We're going to start bringing apprenticeships into our CTE programs. We're learning about the benefits of apprenticeships. We found over $100 million at the state level just for apprenticeships, and looking at how young people can use apprenticeships for a path to go into careers, or whether it be business opportunities, and we're super excited about that. Our high school career centers. We're looking at like what the baseline services that are offered at our high school career centers. I serve as the support provider to our career techs. If you ever have an opportunity to visit, they do an excellent job at the career centers, and there are a lot of resources and services. And so I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna ask Mr. Armando Ortega to come forward. And I'm rushing, and I can take questions, but I wanna make sure I get this in. While we were in DC, Code Middle School was recognized for being a school to watch. And, you know, Congressman Aguilar read some things into the public record, and Dr. Avila wanted to make sure that Armando received this for his office, because it's a historic and special presentation to have your name read into the congressional record. And so basically, I can't do it with these glasses on. I gotta look close. And so I'm not gonna read the whole thing. So this is Congressman Aguilar speaking to the Speaker of the House. And so he said, "Today I offer my heartfelt congratulations to former Principal Armando Ortega and his dedicated staff for their commitment for their students, and for not only developing a well-rounded academic curriculum, but also providing social and emotional learning for students. Cole Middle School has allowed Rialto students to thrive." And so when you look at this thing, it's a significant, you know, piece of art, and just, you know, we just want to honor you and appreciate your team for the work that you did.
Ken, Joseph, can you show the board?
Yeah, you want to take a picture? And so it's a really cool piece, and so we wanted to make sure, Dr. Avila wanted to make sure that you had that.
But show them the inside so they can see what it looks like.
And so, you know, it's read into the congressional record. If you go to the Library of Congress, you can search it and it'll come up. And so, you know, Rialto is making history. They want to get a picture with you. And this is an academic award, y'all, and so this is really a special kind of, thing. So. Thank you for the time and the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? I can take any questions, comments, suggestions.
Strong work, job well done. We're so excited that this position has really taken off and grown. And the question no longer lingers, what do Joseph Williams do? Okay. And so, it's very important for us. We look for more fundings and federal fundings that we continue to dig deep.
Indeed. Thank you.
Any other comments that you have questions?
I do have a quick question. Do you have a percentage of how many kids are graduating with those college units?
So the program just started,
Oh, okay.
and so, our objective is 100%. So they're just starting class. We had the opportunity, Dr. D'Souza and I, to visit the classes over the last week. And so we're just trying to get them, to understand. So we have a chant, you are college students.
Okay.
They were 8th graders, now they're 9th graders. So we recruited from last year's 8th grade class. They're 9th graders, and we're just trying to pump them up and stay in the program. You are college students. So when the seniors walk past you, you are doing something that other people are not doing. And so if you have an opportunity to encourage them, this is really a special initiative, and they're getting the opportunity to get college classes. It took me 10 years to get to community college. I should have a PhD. And they're going to have 42 units throughout their four years. That's
awesome.
Major. And so we also had the opportunity with agent from Expanded Learning, Roberto Perez, to go out and hear from the state chancellor of the community college system. This is a state priority to expand dual enrollment programming. We heard from a district in LA, 30% of their 9th graders are enrolled in early college programs. 30% of their 9th graders go into it. Long Beach has an opt-out program. They automatically just put you in, and you have to sign some paperwork to get out of it. And so we're on a cutting edge where it's emerging, it's developing. So at the end of the semester, we'll come back and be able to say, this is where we're at with the program. And so the college class that they're in now is student development. So they're learning College 101. And then next semester, they'll go right into the general education courses.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Thank you so much for all your hard work.
So next, yes, we have public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We have Michael Montano.
Good evening, everyone in attendance and viewing audience at home. First, I'd like to start off by thanking Dr. Avila and the board for making that tough decision to be safe than sorry with calling the schools off and making sure that everybody stayed safe and that our classrooms were ready to return to school yesterday. I did send Dr. Avila an email that, maybe for further discussion, especially being in El Nino year this year, who knows what we might see, that we maybe, have some talks about, being prepared in the future, like maybe ready to go online for those that can. And anyway, thank you again for that. Also, at Rialto High School, I'd like to say that other than the few fights that we've had, so of the other schools, But other than that, things are off to a great start. And a big shout out to our security and custodial, especially, great job, especially being that they are short-staffed. Please, let's not overwork them so soon in the year. And somebody whose name is almost never mentioned, but is a big part of the driving force that has created some of these positive changes is Ann Cordero at our school. So a big shout out to her. And Mr. Urtiega, it's always nice to see an Oiler receiving accolades. He just stepped out. As I start off with these two sites with major concerns being Zupanik and Boyd, I'm hoping that the district is willing to have conversations to work together and work out solutions instead of having to come in numbers to school board meetings. Teachers and staff are feeling our voices not being heard, ignored, or deleted. The district scheduled a designated ELD on August 30th from 3:45 to 5:45, which is one of the last Wednesdays of the month and supposed to be reserved for REA. That is, no meetings are supposed to be held on those days. There's also a new teacher orientation scheduled for one of the last Wednesdays as well. When teachers file complaints, the feeling is that oftentimes nothing is done. The May 24th school board meeting video has been taken down from the district website. And this is hard to read. But if certificated and classified try to go through these steps, but then have to come here in numbers to feel they are heard, if this pattern keeps up, they are going to come in hundreds asking for a new superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Stacy Norman.
When your daughter calls, you take the call, especially when you just dropped her off at college. Sorry. So I wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but something was brought to my attention right before this meeting started. And speaking of my daughter, when I sent my daughter to college, when I dropped her off, the only thing that I could think of is she going to be safe. So piggybacking off of what Michael said, I want to thank you for making the decision that you made by calling off, not making us all show up on Monday, because we didn't know what the circumstances were going to be. And according to Michael, things are looking better on his campuses as far as safety, but that's not the case at all of the schools. So when we say safety first, do we really mean that? And whose safety are we talking about? Are we just talking about the students' safety? Or are we talking about the safety of our staff? I'm talking to you today on behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of not just the colleagues on my campus, but the colleagues on the other campuses. I hear a lot of things from other teachers that concern me, and it breaks my heart to hear these stories because we feel dismissed. We feel dismissed by sometimes our admin and sometimes the district. PBIS has been around for some time, and some people like PBIS, some people don't like PBIS. If PBIS is going to work, we have to implement it properly. And we have to make sure that the students know that there are consequences. When students have consequences, then they're less likely to repeat the behaviors. So we have a lot of incidents lately happening at our school site, a lot more than in past years. People, I think most people, when they think of fights at middle school and high school, that's what they think of when it comes to safety. But we have safety issues at the elementary level as well. And we have to think about the safety of all students, not just some students, all students. We have some students that are disruptive, some students that are making it very difficult within the classroom for teachers to do their jobs. Now, I'm a reading specialist, and I absolutely love my job. And we sat down today in a meeting, and we went over data. And how many of us love going over data, right? But the data that we're looking at are our reading scores. And we want our reading scores to improve. We want all of our scores to improve. I
Thank
know,
you.
Am I running out of time?
Yes, you're out.
Can I just say one more thing, really quick?
Maybe you can pass it off to someone else to say for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Lubia Nava.
Buenas tardes, miembros de la mesa directiva, doctor Ávila y audiencia.
Good afternoon, members of the board and Dr. Avila and the audience.
Mi nombre es Lubia Nava y hoy estoy aquí para dar gracias porque a los padres de familia se nos está dando la oportunidad de ser parte del programa de alfabetización familiar impartido por la Universidad del Sur de California.
My name is Luvia Nava, and I am here to give thanks to all of the parents, family parents. We have been given the opportunity to be part of the literacy program that is being given by the University of Southern California.
Yo como madre de familia agradezco todos los programas o talleres que se nos proporcionan a los padres de familia, porque gracias a estos programas nosotros podemos lograr cosas como estas.
Lo voy a leer aquí. And I, as a mother of a family, I am thankful of the programs and workshops that are given to us, to the parents, because thanks to those programs, we are able to gain some things like these.
Like this. Soy una orgullosa madre de una recién graduada de Carter High School y ahora matriculada en UCLA.
I am a proud parent of a high school graduate of Carter High School and now is a student at UCLA.
Para mí como mamá es muy importante que el distrito siga proporcionando talleres o programas de alto impacto que beneficien directa o indirectamente a los estudiantes.
Aquí no puedo ver esto. ¿Dónde va? As a mother, it is very important that the district continues to provide workshops or programs of high impact for the benefit of direct benefit and indirect benefit to the students.
Por favor, no dejen de apoyar a las familias y mucho menos a los estudiantes.
Please do not stop supporting the families and much less the students.
También quiero invitar a todos los padres de familia a la próxima cumbre de familia.
I also want to invite ¿a quiénes?
A los padres.
To the parents to the next meeting, family meeting.
Una cumbre de familias.
No sé qué es eso.
Parent Summit.
Parent Summit,
Donde estoy segura que tendremos talleres e información muy importante
where I am sure that we will have very important programs and workshops
que nosotros podemos aplicar para nuestros estudiantes.
that we can apply for our students.
La cumbre de padres siempre ha sido un espacio positivo y seguro para los padres.
The summit has always been a positive space and safe space for the parents,
Y espero así se siga manteniendo
and I wish that continues,
y que no se mezclen problemas ajenos o políticos en este gran evento familiar.
and that there are no other political agenda or issues that are brought up in this family program.
Muchas gracias. Y
Thank you so much,
Y-
and
también quiero decir que tengo una niña estudiante en Cusera que próximamente espero esté en el programa de Career High School, en el programa Alfa, que por cierto es muy buen programa, y muchas gracias a esos maestros que hacen ese programa.
I also want to note that I have a child that is a student at Cosera, and I'm hoping that she will also be able to be part of the program, the career program, and the Alpha program.
Es un programa muy bueno y espero lo sigan apoyando.
And it is a very good program, and I hope that you continue to support it.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is all we have.
Okay. Next, we'll have public comments on the agenda item. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We do not have any.
Next, we will have comments from our association executive board members, Rialto Education Association, REA.
Shame on Rialto for not listening to our teachers. Perhaps we can learn by watching the districts around us to see how it should be done. On the first day of school for LA Unified, their superintendent was on Channel 5 KTLA talking about how for the first time in years, they had filled every position in the district. He gave credit to the unions and to labor peace. He talked about how they had settled a fair contract that raised pay to help attract and retain teachers. It was nice to hear him say all the things that you all should have been saying. Of course, he had to learn it the hard way. You might remember that last year LAUSD teachers had to go on strike for 3 days to get that fair contract. Why can't Rialto fill all of its positions? In the old days, Rialto paid more than LAUSD, and teachers that lived in Los Angeles would drive all the way here to the Inland Empire for higher pay. Now, LAUSD has higher starting pay than Rialto. Over the past decade, Rialto has lost ground to most of the surrounding districts. In fact, when we average the amount that we got in settlements here in Rialto over the last decade, we're about 5.5% below average. Locally, the Redlands teachers done an excellent job of getting raises for their members. Their starting teachers are now paid more than starting teachers here in Rialto. What's shocking, though, is that Rialto was able to do that at the same time that they were forced to pay $41 million in lawsuits. They found the money. Yet Rialto cannot pay us a raise similar to what Redlands got, Colton got, Yucaipa, Etiwanda. They all got double digits last year. What's the consequence of that choice? Well, at Rialto High School on day one this year, there were 39 teachers that had overloaded class sizes, over the limits. Hundreds of kids around the districts are jammed into overcrowded classrooms because Rialto USD did not hire enough teachers. At Dollahan Elementary, we had an overloaded TK classes, and they had a TK kinder combo. So they had to split that class to create a new TK class so they could get the numbers down below for TK, and they created a new kinder class. So now we have 2 kindergarten classes at Dollahan, taught by substitutes. Taught by substitutes. They're good substitutes. If only Rialto paid enough to attract actual qualified teachers, though, right? Think about how all those poor kids are going to suffer. The substitute teachers will be rotated in and out, in and out, in and out until they're finally able to hire a real teacher. The kids in those overloaded classes are going to have their schedules changed, right, to get them down below the numbers, right? All of those kids are going to be disrupted. And all of this because the management of this district did not put the money where it matters. In Rialto, we've prioritized programs over people. We all saw your budget, where millions of dollars that you were given as one-time money is now going to be shifted in the next couple of years into the general fund, ongoing money, and you expect us to take lower pay so you can keep those programs going. Your budget priority is for our teachers to take less, balancing the cost of these ongoing programs on our backs. And you're surprised that we're upset? Inflation has destroyed many of the gains that we made. Last year, we settled for less. We had an expectation, I said this at the last meeting, that this district would behave honorably when you got an additional 6% of ongoing money after we settled the contract. We expected to come to the table this year and at least have a discussion about it. And the response we got was, nope, that money's gone off the table. We will only talk about this year's COLA. How disrespectful that was. Here's the thing, though. We're all on the same team. We're all on the same team. You've created an environment that is disrespectful and dishonest when we talk about the resources we have available here. This district literally has more money than it's ever had, and you're crying poor and threatening layoffs and refusing to bend. Last year was the first year in the history of Rialto USD where you had over $500 million in revenue, and you'll have even more money in revenue this year, and yet we're being told no money, sorry, layoffs if we give you what you want. I want to conclude by thanking Chris Cordasco, the president of CSEA. He and I have been meeting regularly. We're standing together to ensure that the district does the right thing by all of its employees. You need to begin to treat us with some respect. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have California School Employees Association, CSEA. Communication Workers of America, CWA. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Okay. Well, I would like to first have comments from our newly sworn in student board member, Kane Gonzalo.
Hello. I would like to thank those who share their perspectives and opinions and what you guys want to see change in our education. I'm sure the members will do their best to attain to those changes.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from our superintendent, Dr. Avila.
Thank you, President Lewis. Today is brief. I just want to thank all of the employees who reported to work on Monday to visit each of our sites and district facilities to ensure that under the weather conditions that we had suffered over the weekend, the schools would be ready to receive the students and staff and families. As of yesterday, they checked for the electrical, they checked for telephone lines, flooding, damage, leaks, and anything related to the amount of water that we received here in the Inland Empire. So I do want to thank them for stepping it up and doing what they needed to do to make sure that our campuses were safe upon the return of students and staff.
Thank you. Next, we'll have board member Ms. Dominguez.
Thank you, President Lewis. So I had the privilege to attend Curtis Elementary School branding. So now their new name is Curtis Elementary Literacy Academy. It was a very emotional, very motivational, exciting for parents and students. We even had a student say he wanted to be president. So watch out, Rialto. We have a future president there. I also got the opportunity to tour the California University of Science and Medicine with Dr. Ed D'Souza and Juanita Chan, where we saw the in one-to-one how they do project-based learning. We were all impressed to see how they're doing the project-based learning at a college level at the medical profession. To see they have lots of programs that can be offered for free to our students, and Ms. Juanita Chan is going to be working with them to start incorporating all of these programs into our district. So I'm very excited for our CTE students and also our middle school, elementary, and high school students. I also want to welcome our new student board member, Mrs. Kane. So welcome aboard. I know some words of wisdom is just learn as much as you can, take it all in, and just take it all in. And thank you for to all the parents, our staff members, the ones who came in to check our schools out during this storm. And thank you, parents, for being patient with the storm. And I know it was probably hard, and I know that it was not easy for everybody, but thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for all the employees who came in to keep our schools safe, and all the employees who stayed home, and thank you for just being patient with us. So that's it.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from our birthday board member, Mr.
I still haven't, it's next week, it's next week.
Mr. about to turn a different age, Mr. Board Member Montez, birthday man.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna start shaving now because my beard is too gray and too silver, and it makes me look like a lot older. But anyway, thank you. I just have a couple questions. Mr. Montano, did you mention 2 schools, Boyd and was the other one Myler? Did he leave?
I think he said Zupanic. Zupanic.
Did he say Boyd and Myler?
Zupanic.
Okay. And then Mrs. Norman, I didn't catch the school. You're Fitzgerald. I want to thank everybody also who came out here to voice your concerns with us. This is what it's all about. We're all in this together, and sometimes you know, it's a process. Exactly. Thank you. It's a process, and we appreciate everybody's involvement in the process, and that involvement includes you guys sharing your feedback and your concerns with us here at our board meetings, our public board meetings. So thank you. I want to also thank parent Yuvia, who spoke today. Ms. Nava, it's good to hear from parents that are highly involved in some of the parent groups that do a lot of volunteer work, that are involved in a lot of the school clubs and organizations that help lend support to our district. So thank you, Ms. Nava, for sharing your concerns. And I agree, politics should not be mixed with our educational programs. Mr. Brinker, appreciate your feedback and you sharing and your concerns. This board knows very well that as union president, you, Mr. Cordasco, you guys are doing the best that you can and a really good job in representing your members, and we want to continue to work together. And even though board members are not directly involved in negotiations, we do appreciate hearing your guys' feedback, sharing with us your concerns, and we hope that that the people involved in the leadership of the negotiations on both sides can come to a truly fair agreement for all of our employees, not just our teachers, but everyone, because we know that everyone deserves it. So I also want to piggyback on regarding the storm that was brought up. I think it was a good call on the leaderships here in the district, the superintendent, and others who were involved in making the decision to not have the schools open, because we really didn't know what was going to happen. Even though it wound up being a really beautiful day, it was ironic. But a lot of parents that reached out to myself, to some of the other people on this board in the district, a lot of parents weren't going to send their kids to school anyway. Yeah. A lot of employees were not going to come to show up to work anyway. We were probably going to wind up having to really stretch the substitutes, and then not just for the teachers, but even for other departments where the substitutes are not as available. So we would have wound up probably working with half a workforce, and it just would have been all bad. So regardless, it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. And kudos to the superintendent, his cabinet, and the board for making that last minute call and keeping everybody in the loop on Sunday, because a lot of people were worried. The other thing I just wanted to say is congratulations. Is it Kane?
Yes, it's Kane.
Galasso?
Galasso, yes.
Galasso. Congratulations. Do you speak Tagalog?
I do. I'm fluent in Tagalog.
Oh, well then we're gonna be speaking a lot more often. Paano sabihin? Congratulations.
Oh. Wow, this is a little embarrassing.
Well, tell him that's not really, he's not speaking. He's like, what are you?
I'll let you know when I remember. My mom.
All right.
Do you know how to say it?
For some English words, there's not a direct translation in Tagalog, so.
It's difficult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get it. There's different concepts.
There's dialects,
But
try.
salamat for joining us on the board. Salamat.
I know Maganda.
Yeah. So congratulations to your family. Congratulations. What's your little brother's name again?
His name is Ethan.
Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
Awesome job, buddy. Should be very proud of your sister. So congratulations again to your family. Welcome to the board. So good evening, everybody. Thank you.
What was that word again? So I'm just playing with you.
Salamat.
All right, next.
Salama means thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll have our board clerk, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Lewis. I want to say ditto to most of that, except that last comment.
What paano sabihin? I was asking her how do you say congratulations in Tagalog. But
Okay, you just did again. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. I really enjoyed your interview, and I wanted to commend you. While every student board member shined, for me, your presence, and I think that came from your theater background. Yeah, your speaking and your presence made a difference. So for all other students, especially on DSAC, learn to speak into the microphone. Instead of like this, I've already requested that training go out to be spoken into the microphone. Other than that, welcome, Ms. Galazo. Even though I can call you King, you are an elected official elected from your peers. So I'm going to give you the respect that even though I ask everyone here to call me Joe, few do. They call me Mr. Martinez for the same reason. Or maybe it has to do with the gray hair. Anyway, that comes along with it.
I don't have a
Okay.
lot. I don't have a lot. I
That's
promise.
why I went white. That's why I went white.
Okay. There's the story, but I won't tell you. It's a long one, but a CSEA member had platinum hair, and I really loved to see his hair. I couldn't wait for mine to go platinum, and here it is halfway. So anyway, Ms. Galazo, welcome. I look forward to your learning how to serve your peers. As you can tell from comments tonight, it's not always easy. Not everyone will agree, especially when it comes to money or funding. It can get to this point. So we do the best we can, and we've always done our best when we focus on Rialto. We look at others and we could have, we should have, we may have, but we've always done our best when we serve Rialto. So when you look other places, your heart may be elsewhere. And I've always said that I'm perfectly okay to train our people to be successful in their future here or other places. Now, that's not being facetious. I just want all of our people to be successful. I'm going to end that with a reminder that I don't want anybody to be released. But if we go beyond what's on the table, I challenge you. Start giving me your list of who you'd like to cut. Okay. Yeah, REA would be looking at that. And I don't want to do that, and the board doesn't want to do that. So if I find other ways, if the board finds other ways, we'd love to give it to you. But it has to and you know this, it has to be within the same fiscal year. Other than that, anyway, that's another conversation. Thank you for all your comments. All of you, I appreciate all your comments, all your input. It's what we base our thoughts on, but just like at home, the reality is you open your wallet and there's so much. You look in your finances, there's so much. How do you stretch a dollar? We can't print anymore, but Washington can. A real dollar is probably worth probably one or 2 cents after we went off the gold standard. So anyway, you're listening to a Republican here. I thank all my board members for your tolerance of my time.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the focus is to intentionally to examine positive things that we're doing to promote academic excellence throughout the district. And throughout these hot days of summer, I just want to recognize the HVAC, the heating and air conditioning. Yes. They promote a positive, a critical learning environment for us all. And sometimes those are the people that we don't see, but when they are in need, they're there. So when we had one of the schools had a air condition went out, the parts were called, the system worked, and they were back in school. So, you know, these are the unrecognized, unseen, but believe me, you need your air conditioning to facilitate just so much. Throughout the tropical storm, I had the privilege to meet Chris and Sean, two of the numerous people who were checking the buildings and for clearance. But another unsung group is the facility management, the maintenance and operation. And when you're talking about safety and security, it's 24 hours. They have to look at the cameras. They have to monitor the facility site. So someone is working while we sleep, and that's their job. And that's something, another person, another duty, another job that is not in the forefront. Dr. Avila and his cabinet, the staff, the teachers, the leadership team, they had to deliberate. They had to have a system. It was done with all the information, with all the decision weighed, how you're going to make up the day, things like that. And that's what we need. We need deliberate, concise, clear communication. And I cannot thank the communication departments for all the upgrade that they were able to text, social media, call. I think the information that was put out and the effort, and when you're talking about why do we need Parent Square and why do we need this system, and just look at our board room and this microphone, I feel like I'm a channel news anchor because the sound is so much better. All these are the untangible things that are going behind the scenes that I'm really focusing on positive. So we want to thank all those departments in their due to be recognized. You know, in addition, the Rialto Unified USC Family Literacy Program, the introductory class, you know, I joined, and do we have any of my classmates here? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand. Oh, I saw Ms. Dominguez in class. And it was very important for me I work with pediatrics, so I can teach the parents of my patients, what are they learning in school? What are the next steps? How to be prepared? So for me to go back and to maybe catch some things I didn't get the first time, but to really know what the teachers are teaching. Another positive thing is that the negotiation is back on. It's a process. It's a negotiation. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, but the system for that is the negotiation table. So that's positive that you're negotiating. It's positive that you have passion. So that's a positive outcome. You know, I've been through a lot of negotiation, and that's the process. That's the system that you have in place. And so, you know, it's never going to be easy because there's so much passion and there's so much at stake. And anything that's worthwhile should take the time to haggle it out at the negotiation table. So that's a positive. My heart leaped for joy when I attended Curtis Elementary Literacy Academy. I was escorted and met Principal Owen Ross. I had the opportunity to learn about a particular family's journey with autism. Actually, she wrote a book, and her name is Miss Lopez. And she also have a autism support group. Special needs, our special services, it's going to be front and center. We're really looking deep, and I'm just really excited that they're coming to the front and center. And so having the strong parents who have their children that's currently in school really give their support, and I really want to have her really talk. I had to go to work to hear her testimony, but her and her husband really talked a little bit in the break room. And finally, when I looked on the student services under Dr. Angela Brantley, lead student service agency, you had the tabs, and you can put bullying and all the resources there. You could put Rialto Kindness, what was required for the clothing store. You could put mental health hotlines. The numbers was there. There's a certain parents that have the privilege to attend meetings and go to these workshops, but you have other parents that are just as interested. And we have to be intentionally about going to these group homes and soliciting foster parents, group home team leader. Not everybody is just going to come out. If you're seeing a group that's targeted in our LCAP or student platform, then we have to seek them. Not everybody. And when you're thinking about the culture of to speak or not to speak about concern, that's a culture. In some cultures, they're not supposed to speak about their concerns or their issues. And that's a cultural thing. So you have to maybe in that forum to really reach out to them. So, with my lens of looking at what we're doing right so we can recreate that and recognize it and benefit and let those people and those disciplines lead other people, that's what it's all about. And that's how we're going to continue to move forward to academic excellence and to really have a positive learning environment for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I add one thing, Board President?
Sure.
I'd like to piggyback on what Mr. Martinez said. We're all in this together. Take a good look at the expenditures and give us some suggestions. But I want to add, not just people, but programs. Suggest to us where the district can consider doing away with ineffective programs. And if we've got to cut people who ain't doing their job, if they're not being effective, what do we want them for? I get it. I get it. If we've too overstaffed in the district in any particular area or department, wherever that may be, if we're overstaffed, if people are not doing their job, you recommend to us and tell us why. Hey, this program doesn't work. This is why. That person ain't doing their job. This is why.
You tell me what program we talked
Wait.
No. I'm just no. It's fine. I just want to piggyback on what Mr. Martinez said, and
he's just making
we're all in this together. So I'm not talking about teachers. I'm not talking about any one particular department. I'm just saying, you guys can come up with a list and say, hey, look, you guys can consider if we've been using a program for 3, 4 years, 5 years or longer, and it's not effective. Let us know. We want to hear. We want to be able to bring. We can't get rid of all the programs. We need to keep the good ones and get rid of the bad ones. And same thing with staff. We can't get rid of all of our staff. But if we have some people out there that you guys know that ain't working or they're not cutting the mustard, what do we want them here for?
Oh.
That's all I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And so I want to end on a positive note. It's Wednesday. Martha, you ready? Okay.
Ready for president.
We move on to consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action.
We had one item that was pulled, and that was for questioning. That was E 3.9.
Yes.
So when we get to that one, we will go ahead and pull it for
So
question.
I make a motion that we approve all items except for E 3.9.
Yes, that's what was stated.
Second.
Okay, ready for roll call vote? Ms. King Gonzalo?
Aye.
Board Member Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And Board President Lewis? Aye. Okay. Ms. Martha, would you go ahead and read
Yes,
the
Mr.
item for
President.
question?
Item E 3.9, approve a renewal agreement with Marlene Schwartz doing business as Soma Therapy. Provide students, staff, and parents with 1-hour sessions not to exceed 12 sessions effective September 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $2,400 and to be paid by the Child Development Fund.
Dr. Allier, do we have staff to answer questions, or
Yes, Dr. Chavez.
she's not here?
Oh, Alexis?
Good evening, Board of Education. Good evening, Dr. Avila, President Lewis. My name is Alexis Bogarin. I am the Early Education Administrator.
Thank you. So this, I did read the background behind it, and it seems like a very great program. What site is this going to be provided at?
This will actually be offered to all sites that have an early education site on it, which is every elementary campus, except for Hugh Banks has a TK campus, but it would also be offered to all early education parents.
So just for the clarity for the public, the early education means TK and preschool, correct?
TK preschool, the SDC preschool class, the ELO program, so it would be offered for all of them.
Okay, and in your background, it said that this is for 50 students only, 50 students and 50 parents, correct?
It would be, because that would be her capacity in the room that we have, and it would be like an RSVP kind of sessions. So what she's comfortable with, it would be the 50.
Okay, so how are you going to accommodate it if you have preschool and TK parents wanting to sign up? If it's the capacity of a morning class is 24 and the capacity of a preschool class is 24, and that's already going on to 50, and then you have a TK class that's going beyond the 50. How will you accommodate that?
Well, everyone would be invited, but we haven't hit the 50 mark yet. We're hoping to, but if we were to have to offer more sessions or more classes so then other people can attend, we would be able to do that, or we would be open to do something like that.
Okay, is this a new program, or is this something that has been ongoing?
No, this is a renewal. Last year we tried it out. We tried it with the staff. We tried it with the parents and the students to come. This year we're also going to be doing that. So we're hoping to advertise it a little bit more and see. I think the fear is that some people don't know what sound therapy is. So being able to let them know what that is, so then it can help them.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. That's all the questions I had. Thank you.
And I would just like to add, a lot of times for some children, it's their first experience outside of the home, and their anxiety and being able to work with the parents. A lot of times it's the parents' first time allowing them. So we don't have a lot of programs that deal with this grade of, you're talking about social, emotional learning. We don't have a lot of programs that deal with that. And the problems that you do with their frustration is hitting and biting and kicking and temper tantrums. So being able to work with the parents, this is sort of forward thinking. And it's, it's a growth, because that's how you have to sort of train relaxation, and you train parents on new techniques, because some of those old ones could be sort of outlawed.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, go ahead. And you are working with our communications team to promote this so that way you can have a bigger turnout, correct? Okay, perfect.
Correct, we are.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is this going to be recorded? And if so, will there be additional cost?
For a recording?
Well, I'm thinking if there's slots for 50 parents, somebody comes in late, somebody couldn't make it, if it's already available on our website to preview, it would be a benefit to many people, more than 50.
Yes.
Be worthwhile to look into to see if a recording of that would cost much more. It would probably be less than the original charge.
Yes, that's something we can I can talk to her about. We do offer the yoga, and when we offer yoga, we do record that, so we can send that out. I did not think about asking her to record the session. She really likes you to have like your head towards the sound, and then the sound waves to kind of go through you. So it's a little hard to do that. But we could definitely, that's something that we can explore. And I love that, President Lewis, thank you for saying that about, the whole child, because early education is really about the whole child and supporting the needs of the family. And this is just a wonderful way to support that relationship and their self-care.
Okay. Appreciate it. Any further questions? Are we ready to?
One more question. How did you guys promote last year?
Last year, we promoted through, we would give out flyers to the school sites, we did on Peach Jar, and we also put it on the website. And then we did an all-call.
You guys do it on Remind too?
Yes.
Can't
The
do any
teachers
better
do the
than
ones
that.
on Remind, so we're send the like a flyer to the teachers, and the teachers will all post it on Remind.
So everybody got it.
So everybody got it. Oh, and we also do promote through the Preschool Parent Advisory Committee, so then the representatives take that back to the sites as well, so then they can let other people know about it.
Because I got a preschooler.
Oh, okay.
I got a preschooler. And
Well, are we ready?
Yeah, I'm
for the
ready.
questions for motion? Okay, so we're going to make a motion to accept.
Thank you.
Go ahead and read, Ms. Martha.
Do we have
Thank
a
you, Ms.
motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. And you want to go ahead and read the questions since it's been the statement approval for,
She already read it.
you read it out? Okay.
Yeah, we
All
just
right.
need a vote.
Okay, so roll call vote. We're going to go with our student board member, Ms. Galazzo,
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez, board
Aye.
member, Mr. Montez, board member,
Aye.
Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye.
Okay, we now move on to discussion action items. F1, approve the ratification of a renewal agreement with Power School Group LLC. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Purchase the Hunuit data visualization platform effective July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025 at a cost not to exceed $390,000 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion on this item?
Did you say who?
Who knew it?
Knew it.
Okay, are we ready for the roll call vote? Okay, vote by our student board member, Ms. Galazzo,
Aye.
board member Dominguez,
Aye.
board member Montez,
Aye.
board clerk Mr. Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye.
Item F2, approve an agreement with the City of Rialto Police Department.
So move.
Second.
Provide police services during home football games at Eisenhower High School and at Carter High School effective September 1, 2023 through December 8, 2023 at a cost not to exceed $66,654.90 and to be paid by the general fund. In addition to this cost, if the teams continue on to the playoffs, the extra cost will be $329.16 per hour per officer.
Any questions or discussion?
No, I'm just glad we're going to be having officers here just in case if anything potentially could break out. But hopefully everything will be calm, nice, and cheerful.
Okay. Vote by student board member, Ms. Galazzo,
Aye.
board member Dominguez,
Aye.
board member Montez,
Aye.
board clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye.
Item F3, approve the agreement with Linked Learning Alliance.
So move.
Second.
Provide asset mapping communication services effective August 24, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $65,000 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Are we ready? Okay, Ms. Student Board Member, Ms. Kane,
I.
Oh, okay. Board Member Dominguez,
Aye.
Board Member Montez,
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye.
Item F4, adopt AB 1290 compliance resolution number 232411 for geographic usage restrictions on AB 1290 pass-throughs. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any questions or discussion? Ready for the roll call vote? Ms. King Gazazo, I think, am I getting better as we go or getting worse as we go through here with your name?
It's Gallardo.
Yeah,
Galazzo.
Gazazo. Okay. Bye. Board member, 2 meetings, I'll have it down. What is your vote?
I.
Okay. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
And Lewis, aye.
Item F5, deny liability claim number 222321. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Okay, ready for the roll call vote? Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Ms. Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye. Did we miss preferential vote?
No.
No, it's not for.
Yeah.
Lewis, aye.
Item F6, reinstatements. Do we have a
So,
motion?
so move.
Second.
Case numbers 222338, 222339.
Okay, ready for the roll call vote? Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
And Lewis, aye.
Okay, we move on to adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on September 13, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office.
We'll let you do the honors for the motion.
So moved.
Second. Ready for the roll call vote? And the drum roll. Last time tonight. Let me get it right. Miss Kane.
Galasso.
Thank you.
With a G.
Support team. Galasso.
I.
Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And Lewis, aye. And the time is 8:32.